the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, peace, family. Everybody should be able to hear me now. Still setting everything up. I just got back in, so bear with me one moment, guys. Switch my microphone. I got my mic on this side now. All right, peace, everybody. What's going on? It's our boy, Coach Malachi Williams. Y'all know what time it is. It's another day, another show. It is what it is. Let's give everybody a round of applause who's here. We're going to have a good one. Let me put my headphones on, get my headphones set up.
Hey, okay.
I literally just sat down. Guys. Hold on. All right, here we go. Got the mic. I got the mic over here this time. Like, man, I didn't like the way the other one was set up. I'm gonna have a mic here. I'm thinking about going with a different microphone as well. I've been rocking with this one for a little bit now. So salute everybody that's here, man. Shout out to Big Heck. Big Heck, what's going on, fam? Big Heck, what's going on, fam? You know, they had the Hall of Fame this past weekend, so I was looking at it, checking it out. You know, we do have I think we have Vitervia versus Joe Smith coming up this weekend. I'm definitely looking forward to that fight. Somebody getting knocked out. That's gonna be a hell of a fight right there. And I was looking at the actual fight schedules. Let me see. I'm looking at the schedules. Right. Hold on. I'm on the boxing scene. Now, the boxing scene is not showing every fight. I just realized that. I think they're showing, they're showing Showtime. Let's see. Oh, okay. Damn, I didn't even know that. Damn, I'm tripping. All networks. Okay, so you can look at all networks. Okay. Let me see something. Oh, okay, this weekend. So we have a fight Friday. Nathan Gorman versus Thomas Salick. This weekend, Artur Beterbiev, we got him and Joe Smith. That's going to be on ESPN. That's going to be a good one. And I think that's it. I don't even know who's on the undercard for this fight. Do anybody know who's on the undercard for that fight? Anybody? I'm gonna look it up and see. Shout out to Mike Wilson. He said Big Charlo trying to fight Lil Bro Battles. Why he gonna call out Brian? Why he gonna call out Bud on the Brian Custer show? Yeah, man, I don't even know, man. Bro, it's let me tell you something, man. Hey, Mike. Again, a lot of this shit is WWE. Dog. Like, this shit is WWE. I you know, like, literally, bro, like, the eyes see, the ears hear, but nothing is never what it seems to be. This shit is smoke and mirrors. I'm finna break this shit down for you today. You're gonna love this show. If you want to see how the smoke and mirror game works, this is how it works. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to break it down for you right now. You see what I'm saying? I don't know, you know, who calling out who, what's what. It is what it is. And look at this guy. He said the man made over $1 billion in the sport. How is it overrated? I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even going to. This Tune is I'm very familiar with Tune. He's a Floyd Mayweather fanboy. He really don't know much about the sport of boxing. But he saw the headline, he saw the title. He don't even know what the show is going to be about, but it's a question mark. You know what I mean? These casuals are something else. But he all right though. Tune all right. He a young brother. He don't, I can't get upset with him. He don't know nothing. He a young kid. He a young man. He don't know much. So, but this what's going on. But shout out to Tune though. Let's break this shit down like a 57 Chevy. All right, this is the question. The question is this: is the Floyd Mayweather persona overrated? Forgot that part. I don't think the brother know what persona is. Did you know what persona is? Probably don't. Is the Floyd Mayweather persona overrated? Which fighter today, which fighter that you guys can think of that can repeat the Floyd Mayweather blueprint? A lot of these guys, again, these guys use certain YouTube channel talking points. I broke this shit down to you guys yesterday. A lot of guys who watch boxing now, these are casuals. They don't know what a check left hook is. They don't know what a bolo punch is. They don't know how to manipulate the distance and space. They don't know what a trap counter is. They don't know any of this shit. They don't know what hand-eye coordination means. So if you are a fan of the sport of boxing, student of the sport of boxing, you know not to waste your time arguing with the casual. Casuals don't know shit. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. So it's really a waste of breath arguing, right, with these casuals. And I can tell what they say out of their mouth, which YouTube channel they watch, because they use those YouTube channels talking points. I told you guys that. They use these guys talking points. Oh, yep, you got that from Blue. Oh, yep, you got that from 9. Oh, yep, you got that from Trill. Oh, yep, you got that from 7-8. Oh, yep, you got that from Boston Ego. Oh, yep, you got that, because you can tell what they say. You know where it come from, right? So don't worry about the casuals. The casuals don't know nothing. They don't know what they don't know. Just leave them, let them be. Don't even tongue wrestle with them. Save your energy. You're wasting your breath, right? Now, is Floyd Mayweather overrated? The persona, the Floyd Mayweather persona. If you don't know what persona means, look it up. Is the Floyd Mayweather persona overrated or even underrated in the sport of boxing? A lot of Floyd Mayweather's influence is still alive and well in today's boxing. What do I mean by that? I mean just the talking points, certain flashiness. Remember, a lot of these guys, these casuals, they know nothing about Pretty Boy Floyd. They became fans of Floyd Mayweather about 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago, when he fought Manny Pacquiao, and they don't know who Pretty Boy Floyd is. They have no idea. They don't know. Don't even waste your time arguing with these guys, right? Let them talk. Let them say what they're gonna say. Let them go back to where they came from, right? Now, a lot of his influence as it relates to what people think they know and what it is two different things. Now, from the marketing aspect, I like to say this: from the marketing to the matchmakers, to Richard Scheffer, who helped build that Floyd Mayweather persona. The matchmakers helped build that Floyd Mayweather persona. The persona that guys think of now, the casuals, that persona. You see what I'm saying? To Bob Arum, the Money Made. You know, that was on Pretty Boy Floyd right there. Pretty Boy Floyd was on the Bob Arum top rank. To Bob Arum, which is top rank. To Al Haymon, can't forget about Al. To Oscar Dela Hoya, to Sam Watkins, to Jose and Mauricio Sulaiman. Jose Sulaiman, the father, was the president and founder of the WBC. He passed away, and now Mauricio Sulaiman is running the show. All of these guys played a big part as it relates to the marketing of the persona of the guy who you know as Money Mayweather today, right? In the sport of boxing, the fighter is the product. You see what I'm saying? It's the promoter's job to do what? Sell that product to the boxing public. There's something that Leonard Ellerby said, and I really get it now. I get what Leonard is saying. And that's why I said I got to take my head off to Leonard Ellerby. I get what he's saying now. I get it now. Damn, Leonard, I get what you're saying, fam. I get what you're saying, Leonard. Basically, what we're seeing now, Floyd Mayweather was the fighter that ushered in the casuals. He was the guy that ushered in the casuals. And they are here alive today. He was the guy that came with certain slogans and slangs and talking certain slogans and slangs. And, you know, me being a marketer, I get it. I get it. And it was done wonderfully. Right? Oscar De La Hoya did a good job in making the Money Made persona. Oscar De La Hoya did a good job. Richard Scheffer did a good job in making the Money Made persona. Al Haymon did a wonderful job in making the Money Made persona, right? Sam Watkins, Jose Sulaiman, Mauricio Sulaiman, more so Mauricio Sulaiman with the Money Made, did a wonderful job. It was a team effort. It was a team effort. Now, If that fighter is talented enough, and I want you to realize this, you know what I mean? In the sport of boxing, the fighter is the product. It's the promoter's job to do what? Sell that product to the boxing public or the paying public, or however you want to see it, right? If that fighter is talented enough and can strike a stronger chord in the market meaning the people, then the promoter can exploit that chord all the way to the bank. This is how this shit works. You see what I'm saying? Now, Floyd said it all the time. I have a hell of a team. And he's right. He had a damn good team. But the boxing public didn't catch or understand what he really meant by that. They didn't catch it. I got a hell of a team. They didn't catch it. It can be taken in two ways. But they didn't catch what he meant by it. They didn't catch what he meant by it. Richard Scheffer, Al Haymon, Oscar De La Hoya, Sam Watkins, Jose Sulaiman, Mauricio Sulaiman, and others not mentioned in this opening statement robbed the bank blind with Floyd Mayweather. And we can't forget about Steven Espinosa on Showtime. Once a match is made, it's up to the fighters to help the promoter do what? Get the public interested in the fight. Floyd was good at that. And you have producers from Showtime and stuff like that. When they made, HBO had their, I forgot what it's called. Was it 24? Damn, I forgot what HBO had. When they had the big fights, Floyd used to fight on HBO. They had these big productions. I think it was called 24, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And then when he went to Showtime, Showtime came with their production called All Access. All Access, right? They did a really good job. Those networks do a really good job, make it theatrical, it's beautiful. It's the part of boxing that a lot of the casuals, that few boxing fans know about, but the casuals definitely don't know about. The casual don't even know why he liked the fighter. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Remember, I told you guys, casuals are dumb as a box of rocks. You can tell a casual anything. They'll run for it. That's why I get it. I understand now. That's why I get, I understand those guys who constantly cater to the casuals. You can tell them anything. There's nothing wrong with that. Get your money. That's what they're there for. They're there to be got. Get them. I'm not knocking you for getting them, right? Now, as I said before, once the match is made, it's up to the fighters to help the promoter get the public interested in the fight. The blueprint was laid out with who? Al Haymon, Richard Scheffer, and Oscar De La Hoya. Oh, yeah, and Sam Watkins and Showtime and all those other guys as well. Money May was born once he beat Oscar De La Hoya back in 2007. Prior to that, he was called Pretty Boy Floyd. It was the ushering in of a new era in the sport of boxing. What I mean by new era, I mean we got to usher in the casuals. Leonard Ellaby said that, hey, man, there's only like 200,000. And this is what Leonard Ellaby says. I don't know this to be a fact. This is what he said. From what he said when he done his research with his marketing team or whatever, he said there's only like 200,000 core boxing fans. You have to grow the sport with the casuals. Floyd Mayweather brought the casuals. Pretty Boy Floyd had the boxing fans. Money Mayweather brought the casuals. Money Mayweather brought the celebrity to the game. Money Mayweather brought the social media to the game. Money Mayweather brought the like I said before, Money May did that. It was the transition. And shout out to doggone, as I said before, Al Haymon, Richard Scheffer, and Oscar De La Hoya. They did a wonderful job building Money Mayweather. Money May was born once he beat Oscar De La Hoya back in 2007. Oscar De La Hoya was that guy back then. He was the cash cow. The year before that, Floyd decided to part ways with who? Bob Arum, at the advice of Al Haymon. Allegedly. A blueprint was laid out, and Floyd was fed a steady diet of Golden Boy promotion fighters. As a matter of fact, Floyd Mayweather pretty much was a Golden Boy promotions fighter. He fought all of Golden Boy, and Golden Boy promoted all of his fights up until the time where they didn't, up until the point where they didn't anymore. Go back and look at those fights after Bob Arum. Who was the promoter of Floyd Mayweather fights? Very easy, just quick Google search. You'll be able to see that. Right? Now, a blueprint was laid out and he was fed a steady diet of Golden Boy promotions fighters. From Robert the Ghost Guerrero to Marcos Maidana, to Victor Ortiz, just to name a few. Contrary to popular belief, Money May didn't make his own decisions. Sounded good. He didn't keep all of his money. I don't know how much he kept. You know what I mean? And he wasn't his own boss. Doesn't work that way. Contrary to popular belief. Now that did work with the casuals, though. Did work with the casuals. If you're a casual and you believe that, continue to believe that. I know you're going to say, oh, he's a hater, he's a hater. Whatever you say, casual, I'm not going to tongue wrestle with you, right? Now, if you wanted to continue to believe that, then that's fine. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. But it does sound good for the ego, marketing, and branding purposes. Me being a marketer, I know what branding is. I know what marketing is. I know what words of persuasion is. I know how to make it look fly to you. Know how to make it sound good to you. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm working on my other channels. My other channels is gonna be dope. I got some other channels I'm working on. I'm finishing up right now. They're gonna be dope as hell. Now, Oscar De La Hoya played a huge role in building Floyd Money Mayweather. Oscar was the cash cow before Floyd. And everyone wanted to fight Oscar De La Hoya at that time. Oscar was that guy. Everybody wanted to fight him. From Trinidad to Bernard Hopkins to Roy Jones, everybody wanted to fight Oscar. You was going to get your biggest payday fighting Oscar De La Hoya, right? De La Hoya made a lot of money off of Floyd Mayweather. Off of pretty much every fight that he had, as long as he was being promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. But Oscar was the key before he was that guy. Before Floyd was that guy, Oscar was the key to the whole thing, right? Oscar De La Hoya invested a lot of money in Floyd as well, and so did others. Al Haymon, Oscar De La Hoya, Sam Watkins, Richard Scheffer, and the other guys up the top who cut the checks. They knew, you see what I'm saying? They knew pretty much that Floyd was on his way out. They knew he was on his way out. And Adrian Broner was supposed to be the next Floyd. Remember that? I remember like it was yesterday. From a marketing standpoint, they were talking about AB, Adrian Broner. He fought like Floyd. He did the shoulder roll, and Floyd used to walk him to the ring sometimes. And everywhere you seen Floyd, you saw AB. And he was fly. He was flashy. Coming out of Ohio, Adrian Broner. He was supposed to be the next Floyd. That was Al Haymon's next golden. That was his next cash cow. Adrian Broner. He was supposed to be the next Floyd. Because everybody knew Floyd was transitioning out. They knew that. AB was going to be that guy, right? The Matchmakers really did mess up when they put Adrian Broner in there with Marcos Maidana. When they put him in there with Marcos Maidana, that was a big upset. Because Maidana was the underdog, if I'm not mistaken. And leading up to that fight, there was a whole lot of trash talk. AB was selling out, being flashy, and ain't nobody think that. I lost like $500 on that fight. I lost $500 on that fight. You see what I'm saying? I didn't pay attention to the matchmaking. And as you guys know, the rest is history. Now, Floyd Mayweather's skill and talent cannot be denied. But Floyd's overall success is a byproduct of matchmaking, marketing, advertising, Al Haymon, Richard Scheffer, Oscar De La Hoya, Sam Watkins, Jose and Mauricio Sulaiman, and Steven Espinosa of Showtime. So the question still remains: is Floyd Mayweather, the Money Mayweather persona, is that overrated in the sport of boxing? I'll let you guys decide that. Let's get into this. Shout out to Toom.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, okay, so you asked, was his persona overrated? I gave you an opinion. I didn't see your opinion. What you said, you didn't say nothing about the persona. At first, you took my wrench. When did you have a wrench? You talking about last year? You talking about last year, Toom? Last year, I took everybody's wrench last year. If you're talking about last year, I took everybody's wrench. Because I gave a whole lot of people wrenches, and what I found out was a whole lot of you guys was beefing with each other and beefing with other people. Y'all went to blocking everybody, so I took everybody's wrench. But that's neither here nor there. He said, which was cool. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's cool. He said, now you're going to rant about me being young over an opinion. Now I'm getting timed. What's up with you? I haven't timed you. I was reading my opening statement, Toom. And you are young. I didn't say anything wrong. You are young. You're young. Me and you had this discussion before last year. I think you told me you was 26, 27. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I didn't time you out. So I don't know who timed you out, but I didn't time you out. But I don't have any issues with you. You know what I mean? You're all right with me too, as far as I'm concerned. But you are young, and I consider you a casual. I do. So let's break this shit down. The actual persona. So just in case someone got twisted up, what is a persona? A persona is a character. It's a character. It's an image. It's something that you put off. You see what I'm saying? Make it appear a certain way. So you can't miss that part of it. The actual character was created after the Floyd. Remember, Floyd was a lot of these guys, they know nothing about Pretty Boy Floyd. Don't ask them about Pretty Boy Floyd. They don't know nothing about it, right? How do you fool a casual is very simple. A casual, Floyd Mayweather was the one who brought the casuals in. I had to sit back and think about this shit, right? I wasn't on the internet in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. You guys know, it's well documented with me. I didn't join YouTube. Now put it this way. I was on the internet. I wasn't on YouTube. I didn't become a part of YouTube until December 2020. December 2020 is when I became a part of YouTube. But I'm a marketer. I'm a marketer, right? December 2020 is when I became a part of YouTube. And now that I've been doing this for 17 months now, 17 months I've been doing this now, right? I've been noticing certain trends. I know how to study trends. I know how to study trends because I have a marketing background. I studied some of the best marketers in the game. From David Ogilvy, you know what I mean, to Jim Rome, to, Billie Jean is marketing, to Russell Brunson, to Gary Halbert, you name them, I know them. Dan Locke, you name them, I know them. Sam Ovens, you name them, I know them. So I know the words. So it's a lot of shit I see, right? Which I had to start another channel because I can't really express myself like I want to on this particular platform, on boxing, or just on the boxing niche, right? I gotta take my talents to South Beach. But Floyd was the usher of that. But when I sit back and think about it, it was beautiful what Floyd, Oscar, Richard Scheffer, Al Haymon, Sam Watkins, Stephen Espinosa, it was beautiful what they was able to do. Now, when I sat back and started thinking about it, guys, I fully get what Leonard Ellaby was saying. We're making an attraction. When he talk about Tank Davis is an attraction. What's an attraction? SeaWorld is an attraction. Busch Gardens is an attraction. Disney World is an attraction. The circus is an attraction. The attraction is what brings the casuals. This is what Leonard is saying. Me being a fan of the sport of boxing, because I know boxing fans, they know who Pretty Boy Floyd is. Boxing casuals, they know who Money Mayweather is. So me being a boxing fan, I wasn't looking at it from the casual's perspective. That's one. But two, I wasn't looking at it from Leonard Ellaby's perspective when he said that. Because a lot of times you look at people in interviews, whether it's we know Al Haymon don't give interviews, whether it's Stephen Espinosa whether it's Sam Watkins, whether it's Mauricio Sulaiman, whether it's Oscar Dela Hoya, Richard Scheffer. A lot of times when you listen to these interviews, see me, when I listen to interviews, I listen to key words. And everything, the details is in the language. I said, oh, damn, that's why you got to be a real good listener. I'm like, oh, that's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about. The old banana in the tailpipe. So when I do my studies online, I see the debates. I see guys getting into heated discussions. And I listen to the language. Oh, he's using such and such talking points. Oh, he got that from Blue. Oh, he got that from Boxing Ego. Oh, yeah. Oh, he got that from Non. Oh, yeah. He got that from Showbiz. Oh, yeah, he got that from, you see what I'm saying? Like Boxing Ego. Yeah, so, and shout out to all of those guys I just named. Those guys are really good marketers. Shout out to Blue. You're a damn good marketer, sir. Non, you're a damn good marketer. Content creator, but you're a damn good even marketer. You guys got the game. You can understand it. I get it. I get it. Shout out to all of those guys. But I sat back but I'm listening to Leonard Ellaby. I've been studying Leonard Ellaby a lot lately. And then I had to go back and I had to when Floyd went, as you guys didn't know, he got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2021, but they did the ceremonies yesterday, this past weekend. Floyd Mayweather, we'll go through that. We'll go through that later. I'll read that to you in a minute. So I say, damn, where this shit started from? I had to go do everything in reverse. I had to do everything in reverse. I had to, what they call it in marketing, you got to work backwards, something like that. Not work backwards, it's not the word I'm looking for, but I had to reverse engineer is what I'm looking at. I had to reverse engineer this thing and see where this shit came from. I said, oh, Floyd, Money Mayweather. Once Money Mayweather became a reality, Money Mayweather signified the death of Pretty Boy Floyd. I don't mean that physically. I mean the actual persona. If you've been watching boxing for a long time and you're up in age like I am, and you study this shit, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Especially if you are a marketer. Money May became the death of Pretty Boy Floyd, and that was a concentrated effort by Al Haymon. Al Haymon comes from the music business. Very, very smart man. Oscar Dela Hoya, the cash cow boxing at that time, in that weight division. He was the face, he was that guy. Mike Tyson was still around, but outside of Tyson, he was that guy. Richard Scheffer, very smart man. Sam Watkins, very smart man. Steven Espinosa of Showtime, very smart man. Mauricio Sulaiman, much as I talk about Mauricio Sulaiman, very smart man. Jose Sulaiman, before he passed away, very smart man. It was a collective effort. And this persona was sold to the casuals. The casuals are very, very low IQ. They really don't know much as it relates to the sport of boxing. And this is no disrespect to a casual. I'm just saying, when it comes to boxing, you really don't know shit. But the marketing, the advertising, what they created, I sat back and I thought about it. I said, damn, this shit was brilliant. So the second half of that question is this. Which fighters can repeat the Floyd Mayweather Money Made blueprint? Which fighters can repeat that? Well, first you got to know what the blueprint is in order to repeat it. And some would say, well, the blueprint is just find a Mexican fighter, fight a Mexican fighter, and if you can beat him, then that's the blueprint. No. Not that simple. Doesn't work that way. It's not as simple as fighting a Mexican fighter, and if you're a black fighter and you fight a Mexican fighter and beat them, it's not as simple as that's the blueprint. It's not that simple. You have to study what Al Haymon, Oscar De La Hoya, Richard Scheffer, Sam Watkins, Stephen Espinosa. You got to study what they did. You got to understand the casual market. You got to know your audience and know how to market to them. Money May was lightning in a bottle. And remember what I told you guys, AB was supposed to be that next guy. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. AB, the next Floyd. Remember, they was looking for the next Floyd. I remember that shit. They was looking for the next Floyd. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. I remember it like it was yesterday. They was looking for the next Floyd. Adrian Broner was the one. He messed the bag up. AB messed the bag up. And to be honest with you, it really wasn't Adrian Broner's fault. What do I mean by that? Any matchmaker on the planet. And remember, Marcos Maidana was a Golden Boy fighter. Floyd Mayweather fought on Golden Boy when he left Bob Arum. All of them had a partnership. Al Haymon, Golden Boy, Richard Scheffer, they had a partnership. Look at the fighters who Floyd fought once he left Top Rank. So it was a concerted effort to build this persona. And it worked to perfection. Now, in order for a fighter that's boxing today to replicate that, you're going to have several things that's going to have to be in place. And I don't even know if that can be replicated right now. Stephen Espinosa, Richard Scheffer, Oscar De La Hoya, Sam Watkins, Al Haymon, those guys are geniuses. You would need a situation very similar to that. Circumstances have to be very similar in order for any of these fighters that's here today to replicate that. The closest thing, now the one guy that's doing it, some would say Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is the face of boxing right now. Another guy that's making a whole boatload of money, but they're not doing that blueprint, is Anthony Joshua. Whew. That guy got a net worth of over 100 million pounds between his worth and his companies, his business, his management company. What my main man name? Canelo. He got a net worth of what, over $150 million? Oscar was able to replicate that blueprint with Saul Canelo Alvarez. Oscar did that. I don't know how is he going to do it with Jaime Munguia and Ryan Garcia. But it was masterful. The marketing, the hyperbole. It was masterful, bro. I had to sit back and think about that shit. And I say, damn, man, the WB, I say, man, Money Mayweather signified he was the one that brought the casuals. This is what Leonard Ellaby is talking about. Leonard, I understand what you're saying, sir. So if you are a fan of the sport of boxing, the frustration sets in with you because you're like, man, goddamn, I want to see this fight. I want to see that fight. Yada, 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 blah, and squaze. But the powers that be are the ones who tell the fighters what to do. I don't give a damn who that fighter is. It could be Canelo. It could be Anthony Joshua. Guess what? Those fighters are not bigger than the powers that be. No, this is what you're going to do. We got this set up for you. It sound good. Yeah, man, fighter their own ball, stuff like it. It sound good. It do sound good. But it sound good. It does. Fact of the matter is the powers that be, and they always controlled shit for a very long time. Boxers are interchangeable parts. The boxers, they come and they go. The suits can make they can make a star, as Little Ellaby would say. They can make a star at any given time. But Money Mayweather was the usher of the casuals. He did that. Money May did that. I'm trying to think. There's no fighter that I see right now because the casuals are here. And a matter of fact, Money Mayweather became an economy. Like Canelo Alvarez is an economy. What do I mean by that? Mike Tyson was an economy. Anthony Joshua is an economy. What do I mean by it? What's an economy? This is for you casuals who may not understand what I mean by that. A walking economy, a fighter that's an economy, he's the one that brings the money to the sport. Well, how does he bring money to the sport? When that fighter fights, hotels are booked, are sold out in the city. When that fighter fights, airlines are booked all over to bring people into the city. When that fighter fights, that fighter attracts. He's an attraction. He attracts casuals and boxing fans alike to come to a centralized location to see that fighter fight his opponent. And when they come to a city, they spend thousands and millions of dollars over the weekend to watch that fighter fight. When that fighter fights, as Leonard Ellaby would say, he put butts in seats. He packs the venue when that fighter fights. That's what Leonard Ellaby means. I get it now. I get it. I was looking at it through the wrong lens. I was looking at it through a fan of the sport of boxing lens and not looking at it through the lens of a casual, not looking at it through the lens of a marketer. My dumb ass. I'm a marketer. So when I hear Leonard Ellaby speaks, when I hear Stephen Espinosa speaks, when I hear them saying, it has to make sense and saying all that stuff there, I immediately take my boxing fan hat off and I put on my marketer hat. I'm not a fan, not a promoter, I'm not a matchmaker. I don't get paid from any of these guys, contrary to popular belief. But I listen to the language. The devil is in the language. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. And you have marketers in boxing, their sole purpose, if that like me, they study the internet. See me, I'm a student of the internet now. I study Twitter. I study Instagram. I study Facebook. I study YouTube. I study Twitch. I study TikTok now. I study this shit now. Why? Because I want to understand it. Why do I want to understand it? Because I want to know how can I make money from it. That's why I study it. And I want to understand the audience. And from what my research has told me, my research tells me that damn Floyd Mayweather was the one that brought, he was the usher of the casuals. All this shit you see online right now from casuals, this is what it is. From people going around threatening people, from people living their lives vicariously through their favorite fighter, for people being fans of YouTube channels and being extreme fanboys and stuff like that. All of that is casuals. That's casuals. You see what I'm saying? I understand it now. Now that I understand it, I would never I'm not emotionally attached to it. It took me a while to figure it out last year. But now this year, you notice my tune has changed. It's like, you know what, man, I ain't finna be arguing with these dudes. If they come in here trolling, block them, get rid of them, no matter. I don't care. They can have a difference of opinion. Nothing wrong with anyone having a difference of opinion, stuff like that. But now it's like, okay, remember last I used to be, I was really, I went to war last year. This year, I ain't got to go to war. I don't take the shotgun approach. This year, I'm taking the sniper approach. When the sniper comes to hit his mark, the sniper don't use a shotgun. He uses a sniper. I take the sniper approach. That's a term that we use in marketing. Don't take the shotgun approach. Take the sniper approach. Leonard Ellaby is taking the sniper approach. Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, those guys, they really understand. I don't know how much Bob understand the casuals. I don't think Bob Aaron really gives a damn about casuals, to be honest with you. He's an old school guy. He's not into all that crazy shit. He probably got the people who work for him probably understand that, how, understand that, yada, yada, yada. I think Oscar De La Hoya understands the casuals very well. Outside of the fishnets and the coke and all that stuff there, he understands the casuals very well. Oscar does. Leonard Ellaby, not Leonard Ellaby, sorry about that. I mean, Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn probably does. Eddie Hearn probably does. I don't think Eddie, I think he's doing it with Conor Ben. He's doing it with Conor Ben, building him up. He understands, and we just can't rest nobody. And this is what it is, guys. This is why matchmaking in boxing is very, very important. Because what happens is this. I want to change gears a little bit. If you put the fighter in the ring, let's say you got a prospect, and you're marketing him as the next Floyd Mayweather or the next Canelo Alvarez or the next Miguel Cotto, and you're marketing him that way, you're selling something to the casuals. And you're pulling on the heartstrings of casuals who really don't know. They don't know. Like my Aunt May used to tell me, like she taught me, sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Right? It's easy to sell a product. The fighter is the product. If you mess around and catch a fighter that's very, very talented, and if you can market him, that's good. What these young fighters need to understand is this. It's two things that sell in the sport of boxing for what I saw. And it's always been like this. When I was young, I used to love watching the old cowboy movies. Cowboys and Indians. The cowboy was the good guy, the Indian was the bad guy. That's how they sold it. You got the cowboy that wore white, and you got the cowboy that wore black. I used to watch a TV show when I was young called The Lone Ranger with Tonto. Love that. Show came out before I was born, but I used to watch it growing up. The old reruns and stuff. I used to watch Bonanza and Gunsmoke. I used to watch stuff like that growing up. And you either gonna be the good guy or the bad guy. Some of these fighters, they don't get it. It's a new day in boxing from a casual standpoint. A couple fighters do get it. The fighters who are very, very talented from a skill set standpoint, but they don't know how to work the media. They don't know how to work social media, work the casuals. They don't get it. The fighters that say, yeah, man, it's a promoter's job to promote the fighter, and that is true. It's a promoter's job to promote the fighter. But sometimes the fighter has to become a character. Because at the end of the day, the fighter is the product. And you got to know how to sell that product to the casuals. You can turn the casuals into the paying public. This is how you create cult-like followings online. That's what's so beautiful about online that I noticed. You can create cult-like followings online. You can create some cult-like followers. Like dudes will follow you. They will believe every rumor from their YouTube channel. They will push every narrative. They just read headlines and don't listen to the words and jump out the window. Like this is what I call emotional, don't know much of nothing casuals. Now, most casuals are like that. Most casuals are like that. Most casuals are like that. And it's very, very easy to manipulate them. These YouTube channels who put certain narratives, they understand that. They understand that very well. And now that I think about it, I take my hat out to those guys. Get your money, Pippin. That's what they are there for. Get your money. Get your money. When I think about it, And I'm thinking about Adrian Broner right now as I'm thinking. AB was the guy. He had the charisma. He had the style. He had the pizzazz. He had the gift of gab. He was young, fly, flashy. But he had a lot of flaws from a boxing standpoint that was exploited. The matchmakers messed up when they matched him up with Marcos Maidana. I don't know if Marcos Maidana was supposed to take a dive or what. I don't know what it was, right? I have no idea. All I know is Marcos Maidana didn't get the memo. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. The lead up to it. I lost $500 betting on AB that night. I was mad at him. I was in the strip club in Miami, Tootsie's. No. I was at KOD. I was at the King of Diamond. Madder than a motherfucker. Madder than a motherfucker. What you say, Mars? He said, I don't think the casuals are sustainable. They can just as easily stop watching as soon as they get bored or as soon as their guy loses. Yeah, that's the thing too. And you know what, Mars? That's the thing too. The thing with casuals, because they're so caught up in the you got to be undefeated. You got to be undefeated. The casuals are so caught up in that if a fighter loses, they do have a tendency they'll turn on you. You're right about that, Mars. You're right about that. Mad Dog H, what you say? You know about you. He said, you know AB about billions. Now I understand. Now I understand when AB was saying that, when AB was telling Leonard Ellaby, you not with me.
Shut that soft ass shit up.
And the best man
Shut
to
that
win.
soft. That's some soft ass shit. Shut that soft ass shit up. All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man. You got the. Man, shut that soft ass shit up.
He was saying in that interview, in that press conference, you ain't with me. You with him. I get what he was saying now. The powers that be, that used to be with AB, they wasn't with him anymore. He's saying, man, Leonard, y'all, you ain't with me, you with him. You with Jesse. You got your money on Jesse. They started shifting from AB. AB started talking shit. AB started getting reckless in the public. Man, shit, Al Haymon loved AB. That was their next gimmick. That was their next gimmick to the casuals. AB fucked it up. Them and the matchmakers. Them and the matchmakers. Now we got this, you got to have the O. He said Golden Boy saw Maidana lose 10 rounds to Devin Alexander. They figured Broner, they figured Broner would do the same. They slept on what they slept on Robert Garcia can do for Maidana. Yeah. Hey, the Martin. That listen, see the matchmaker didn't take that into consideration. Man, Maidana training with Robert Garcia now. If you notice, dog, when the fight was over, the look that was on, look at Sam Watkins. Look at when that fight was over. When Marcos Maidana was, and you know the crazy part about it? Marcos Maidana won that fight by split decision, I think. When Marcos Maidana beat Adrian Broner, he won via split decision. That wasn't a split decision. That was a unanimous decision. That was a unanimous decision. That wasn't a split decision. Adrian Broner was supposed to win that fight. If Adrian Broner don't get knocked down in that fight or nothing, he wins that fight. Adrian Broner won that fight via split decision. He won that fight. Looking at my somebody sending me a text. Adrian Broner won that fight via split decision. And even though I lost money on Adrian Broner, I can't sit here and lie and sit back and say that, man, that was a split decision win for Maidana. Maidana won that fight unanimous. It was unanimous. Look at the look on Sam Watkins' face. Look at the look on the people who was around AB in the ring. They were shocked. AB was going to be that guy. James said, look at that fight, coach. It was very competitive. People make memes because he got knocked down. Yeah, it was very competitive, but it still was a unanimous decision for me. But that's neither here nor there. That's water under the bridge. That's water under the bridge. He said they still had to market that. Yeah. So now the next attraction is Tank Davis. Tank Davis has in a very, very unique situation. He has all of the casuals. All of the casuals. And what's his connection? Floyd Mayweather. So when Leonard Ellaby say, we're running a business over here. Hey, listen, now I want you guys to just take the emotion out of it. Take the emotion out of it, right? Take the emotion out of it. And I want you to listen to Leonard right here.
And who's the next big star under Mayweather Promotions?
Ooh, we have quite a few young guns, as I say, and I don't want to leave any names out, but we have a great roster of young talent, and we've been very selective about what we're doing, again, because when you have, an abundance of fighters, it's hard to kind of focus on, like him. He has all this going on, and you don't know what you're doing, and it's like you can't put nobody in a big event because you don't have no access to anything. You know what I'm saying? And kind of touching on that, when a big fight is to be made, it has to make sense for both sides. And so when you really think about that, it just speaks volumes of what the reality is. No promoter or company is going to put their guy in an event with everything to lose and nothing to gain, especially when we talk about this. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
He said it right there. Listen to the last part of it. No promoter is going to put a fighter in an event with everything to lose and very little to gain. Leonard was saying it right there. He was saying it right there. I got another video where Leonard is saying that, hey man, listen, there's only 200,000 fans that's in the sport of boxing. How you grow the sport is with the casuals. Eddie Hearn don't know what the F he doing. If he knew what he was doing, Joshua got beat. Because Eddie Hearn and those matchmakers are putting Joshua in there with tough competition. Anthony Joshua fighting some tough competition. He got stopped. He got beat by Usyk. Got upset by Andrew Ruiz. They had a shocked look on their face when Anthony Joshua lost to Andrew Ruiz. Because from a matchmaking standpoint, the matchmaker saw, hey man, you should be able to just beat this dude with ease. Always, when the house fighter lose, guys, I'm trying to give you something to look at. When the house fighter lose, always look at the faces and the look, the shocked look of the powers that be. Some of the people who you see in the ring behind the fighter. Damn, he lost that fight. This son of a bitch pulled it off. He was a 13-1 underdog. So when you hear T. Diddy saying, yeah, man, Eddie set us up. Eddie set us up. Eddie set us up. They wanted Kambosos to win. Who is the they you're talking about, T. Diddy? Who is the they? Who is they? And this is what happens. Leonard Ellaby, this is why I said, you know what, man? I get it now. I see what Leonard is talking about. And this is what you have right now. So they're trying to, whoever they may be, find lightning in a bottle. You got Canelo doing his thing. That's lightning in a bottle right there. Oscar De La Hoya, Al Haymon, Richard Scheffer, Sam Watkins, Mauricio Sulaiman. Oh, Mauricio. Steven Espinosa. These guys are the musicians. The magicians, sorry about that, the magicians in the sport of boxing. These guys are brilliant. And then when you tie in, you get content creators that you can easily get to push your narrative, because it's beneficial to the content creator to push the narrative because he gets certain perks. You get access to the fighter, the interviews. That helps you get views. You get media access. You get put up in a hotel. It raises your credibility online. So it all goes hand to hand. It all goes hand to hand. One bat scratches the other. You see what I'm saying? So the TBE, I'm the best that ever do it. I'm the best. Like I had a casual telling me that, yeah, man, Floyd Mayweather beat more world champions than any fighter in the history of boxing. And don't give it no context. Yeah, he did that. He did that. But back then, they only had one goddamn belt. They didn't have 4 belts. They had 1 belt. And you had to fight, and you had to defend all of your titles. Larry Holmes had 20 title defenses, something like that. 19 title defenses. Bernard Hopkins had 20 title defenses. You know, when you're a champion, you got to defend your belts against everybody in the top 10. It was very strategic how they did it with Floyd. In the 4-belt era, you could fool the casual. The casual don't know no better. He fought 4 champions. Yeah, he did. He fought 4 champions in this division, 4 champions in that division. And then he went up, fought 2 champions in that division. Then he went back down. He retired, came back, fought that guy, fought that. You see what I'm saying? And the belts kept adding up. Some of the same belts. Most of them titles he won were WBC titles. But the marketing, and Floyd Mayweather played it to perfection. TBE, I'm the best ever. I'm my own boss. I make my own decisions. I write my own checks. Yeah, it sounds good. But it's the furthest thing from the truth. It's the furthest thing from the truth. Now, I know a casual don't want to hear that. If you're a fanboy of Floyd Mayweather, you don't want to hear that. That's fine. I'm not going to get caught up in your emotions. I'm not here to argue with you. I know what I know. You don't do the research I do. I know what I know. I'm not here to argue with you. Believe what you want to believe. I don't care. I don't get a dime from neither one of them. But I got to call it the way I see it. And I study this shit. And I'm like, damn. The matchmaking was wonderful. The marketing was wonderful. It's like Vince McMahon on WWE. I told you boxing is a lot like WWE from a hype, marketing, persona standpoint. When you're creating a persona, that's when it becomes more like WWE. When you're creating a persona, when you have hype jobs that you hype up. Oh, did you see the way he knocked out Hobo Sam? Oh, we automatically know he'll beat those other top guys. He don't even need to fight them. He knocked out Poe Chop Willie. He 40-0 with 32 KOs. He's a knockout artist. Shit, he don't need to fight those other dudes. You just imagine what would happen. Remember the key word, just imagine what he'll do if he fight those other top dudes. He don't need to fight them. They're on the wrong side of the street. Key marketing word right there. You with the wrong promotional company. Another key marketing word right there. No, that's duck language. You need to take 60-40. Sign the contract. You need to take 70-30, 80-20. How many pay-per-views you sold? True, true, true. Works every time. Works every time. Works every time. Juan Lopez, what he say? He said, preach it, coach. Oh, boy. Oh, they mad at me today, boy. These cats, they mad at me today, boy. I got to tell the truth. I got to tell it like it is, fam. I got to tell it like it is. Those boxing historians, like Scrapbook Boxing, he know what I'm talking about. Ring IQ Boxing, Jules, he know what I'm talking about. Retro Boxing and Documentaries, Blood Boxing, he know what I'm talking about. People like Steve Kim and Mario Lopez and guys who know, in the know, they know what I'm talking about. To the casual, oh, nigga, you hating. You hating. I haven't said one word that was hating. I haven't said one word that was hating. Oh, nigga, you hating. That's why I don't like your ass. I'm going to unsubscribe. Bye, Felicia. I know what I'm talking about. I study this shit. Donnie T said, he said, Coach, who do you think Floyd avoided that would have beat him? Educate me, my brother. There was a couple of fighters he didn't fight, but Floyd pretty much fought everybody. Now some will argue and say, well, he fought him at the right time. He fought him when they was old and this and that and yada, 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 yada. You can make an argument for that. But Floyd didn't fight the fighters at the right time because of him. The matchmakers, you got to understand the power of matchmaking. The matchmaker is probably one of the most important, if not the most important player that a promoter can have on his team. The matchmaker job is to pick the right opponent at the right time for the house fighter to fight. The promoter's job is to sell the fight to the casual public or even the boxing public. The marketer job is to create this illusion, this appeal. Spin your magic, baby. The fighter's job, the fighters are the characters. Rolly Romero, fuck Tank Davis. Tank, I'm going to knock him out. He got a big head. I'm going to punch him one time and knock him out. What? I don't know, boy. Shit, boy, Rolly, boy. Big Rolo. And then you got somebody like me, a marketing expert. Big Ro, I come up with catchy names for fighters that I know that's trash. I came up with Killer Cam. I came up with Big Rolo. This is what I do. I came up with, what name I gave Caleb Plant? Caleb Eggplant. You know, he the white Floyd Mayweather mixed with a little bit of Sugar Ray. You got somebody like me, I make it sound fly to you. Put a little hype and hyperbole on it. That's what I do. Trevor the Dream Bryan, the only American heavyweight champion of the world. Remember that? T. Diddy. Remember that? You know, oh my gosh, Tim, Lomachenko, he's the Matrix. Oh my gosh, Timmy. Oh my gosh, Dre. Not Tim. Oh my gosh, Dre. Timothy, Dre. Look at Lomachenko. He's the Matrix. Oh my gosh, his brain is like a computer in the ring. I've never seen nothing like this. Look at the way the sweat falls from his balls. Man, I don't know nothing about all that, Timothy Bradley. I don't know about all that, Tim. All I'm saying, the man losing right now, 6-0 to Teofimo Lopez. This is why they were shocked when Teofimo beat Lomachenko. Hell, Lomachenko was so arrogant, or his team was so arrogant. Look, we just gonna sign a one-fight deal. We ain't got to sign no rematch clause because they automatically knew that he was gonna beat Teofimo Lopez. T. Diddy sitting there rubbing his hands like the Birdman. T. Diddy like, you know, my son. They think my son is gonna lose. They didn't know that. T. Diddy and Teofimo Jr. had another thing coming. Now, good news is they was both on the same side of the street. All right, guys, hold on, guys. Let me put this dog up. Hold on. I got my dog right here. Let me put her up. Come on. I'm back. But that's how this shit works. This is why you are here. Like I told you guys, this shit is a lot like WWE. And you will know who is the house fighter who's supposed to win. Just listen to the announcers. When you listen to a fight and you hear the announcer saying, "Oh, look at that left hook that Edgar Berlanga landed on such and such," and then when the other fighter land 4 or 5 good punches on the house fighter, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that was a good shot by Angulo. Yeah, that was a good shot by Angulo. Yeah, he caught him pretty good. You know. Oh my gosh, look at the way he pivoted." They're letting you know what time it is. This shit is a WWE production. That's what it is. That's what it is. Annalise said there should be 300 likes. No, I won't get 300 likes for this, Annalise. These casuals don't like this shit. So, Floyd Mayweather was the usher of the casuals on social media. I say, I be damn. Now, the powers that be are looking for another Floyd or another Canelo or another Canelo. They're looking for another Floyd or another Canelo. On the low, Mayweather Promotions, they have Tank. What Mayweather Promotions, Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby have been able to do with Tank is astonishing. It's remarkable. Because Tank doesn't have to fight any of the top guys in order to sell tickets. That's beautiful. That's a matchmaker's, that's a promoter's heaven right there. So when you hear Leonard saying, yeah, those other guys, you guys think those fights, Devin fighting, Tank fighting Devin Haney and Tank fighting those, who these guys who you say the top guys, like, show them to me. Who are the top guys? Like, you think these guys are top guys, but they're really not top guys. They're not selling tickets. They don't know how to put butts in seats. When I thought about it, I stopped being mad at Leonard Ellaby. And I say, damn, Leonard and Floyd been telling us all along what's going on. They're not going to make the same mistake with Tank that Al Haymon, Oscar De La Hoya, Richard Scheffer, Showtime, Sam Watkins, whoever the promoter, whoever the matchmaker was, Tom Brown, they're not going to make that same mistake with Tank that they did with Adrian Broner. AB was the next Floyd. They made a mistake. Moved him up too fast and put him in the ring with Marcos McDonald. Marcos McDonald was supposed to lose that fight. AB ain't been the same since. That man wore a beating. I thought his jaw was broke. They're not going to make that same mistake. Shout out to Misfit that's in the building. Shout out to Misfit. Floyd Mayweather's in the Hall of Fame now. And let's look at the Hall of Famers before I open up the phone lines. We need 200 likes. So once we get the we need 45 more likes. I'll open up the phone lines. We need 45 more likes. I'll open up the phone lines. 45. Where we at? Let's see. Let's reload this one. So this is for you. I'm going to do this for you, Floyd Mayweather fanboys and casuals. This is for you. This show is dedicated to you. Because I know you guys like to throw Floyd around a lot, but you don't understand the game. You don't understand the game. You don't understand how this thing works. I get it now. Let's see. Let's go here. Let me share this. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame. Floyd Mayweather, Bernard Hopkins, Christy Martin, ranking 3 classes in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Casuals, if you said, oh man, legacy don't mean nothing. That shit can't pay your bills at the end of the day. You just believe the hype. That shit can't help me pay my bills. You are regurgitating your favorite YouTube channel's talking point. Not only that, you're regurgitating what Floyd Mayweather's talking points for Tank Davis. You don't know shit about boxing. And clearly you have not followed Floyd Mayweather's career if you're saying some dumbass shit like that. As soon as I hear somebody say that, I don't even argue with them. I walk away. When I'm in the barbershop, I don't even, because I learned a lot from being in the barbershop talking boxing. I got to have a show in the barbershop. Have to. Or where we be playing dominoes at. I have to. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It really is. But let's continue. How do you get to the Hall of Fame? The reason why you casuals even know who Floyd Mayweather is because he had legacy fights. How in the hell you gonna tell me that, man, that legacy shit, that shit overrated? How you gonna say that in one breath, but then say you love Floyd Mayweather while ignoring the fact that he had legacy defining fights? You love Money May, but you know nothing about Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd was the foundation to the Hall of Fame. Fool. True. Pretty Boy Floyd, under Bob Arum, was the building blocks to Money Mayweather. True. If it wasn't for Pretty Boy Floyd, it wouldn't be no Money Mayweather. True. You gotta have the legacy defining fights in order for people to talk about you. In order for you to get into the Hall of Fame. Casuals don't know nothing about that. They say what I'm saying is hate right now. And if I ask them, what am I saying is hate? They couldn't tell you. Well, I don't like the way you said this, and I don't like the way you said that. Sir, you're acting like a light-skinned nigga from the 80s. Listen. Now let's look at these guys over here. Let's look at these guys over here. Let's go. The International Boxing Hall of Fame induction ceremony is usually celebrated over the in June in Canastota, New York. So let's go on. Who made it? Who made it in here, right? Floyd Mayweather, 15-0, 27 knockouts. He became Money Mayweather after he beat Oscar De La Hoya. Guess who promoted this fight? Oscar De La Hoya. De La Hoya didn't even have to fight. De La Hoya didn't even have to fight Floyd Mayweather. He could have fought Miguel Cotto. He could have fought anybody. You can say what you want to say about Oscar De La Coco, Fishnets, whatever you want to call him. This man right here is the main reason, one of the main reasons, why you know who Money Mayweather is today, as it relates to the casuals. If it wasn't for Oscar, guess what? You wouldn't be online having these arguments right now. Say what you want to say. Let's continue. I'm not here to argue with you on that. Let's see. Money May is perhaps the greatest defensive-minded boxer of all time. That's another marketing tool. They're using marketing words. He's perhaps the greatest defensive-minded boxer of all time. Okay. Shout out to Swift.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2. Bam! Super chat on your board.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, preach, coach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him. Gotta give it to him. Doesn't matter how you feel personally about Oscar De La Hoya. Fact of the matter is, Oscar De La Hoya is a part of making Money Mayweather. Whether you like it or not. I know you want to believe what your favorite YouTube channel says. Floyd did it all by himself, just him and Al Haymon. And Floyd did this and Floyd did this. No. It sound good. It sound good, though. It sound good. But I'm going to educate you a little bit. Take it or leave it alone. Doesn't make me know, never mind. Pretty Boy, it say, in his early days as Pretty Boy Floyd, he was willing to use his power to finish foes. The fighter from Grand Rapids, Michigan, won his first title in his 18th pro bout in an 8th round decision versus Ganado Hernandez in the junior lightweight to win the junior lightweight WBC belt. Shout out to the breakdown with Kush for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
My brother said fire. Yes, sir. Let's continue. What you're going to see is Floyd Mayweather in the WBC, Jose Sulaiman and Mauricio Sulaiman is to the best interest of the WBC, yada, yada, yada. You know, because Sulaiman created belts and stuff when Floyd was around as well. The WBC, see, a lot of y'all hate the WBC. Oh, the WBC let Canelo do anything he want to do, while forgetting the fact that the WBC let Floyd Mayweather do whatever the hell he wanted to do. They forget all about that. Mauricio Sulaiman racist. He only care about the Mexican fighters, while forgetting the fact that Mauricio Sulaiman loved doggone Floyd Mayweather. You forget about that, huh? See how I just blowed that narrative up? See how I just blowed that narrative up? Just that quick. Listen, I get it. Get your money, baby. Get your money. I get it. I understand. I get it. But let's continue, though. Let's talk about this Hall of Fame, right? Pretty Boy Floyd has stopped Diego Corrales. And I think Diego Corrales was favored in this fight. Jose Luis Castillo, they're talking about all the people he fought. For all you casuals, if you ask me what was the best version of Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather at 130 pounds, that junior feather, that super featherweight, junior lightweight Floyd Mayweather, 130 pounder, that guy was a killer. Nobody beats him, in my opinion, in any era on 130 pounds. That Floyd Mayweather. You don't know nothing about him, though. You don't know nothing about him. And I get it. You know about the chains. You know about the Instagram posts. You know about the Twitter posts. You know about the cars. You know about the jewelry. You know about the money. Look at the money. You know about he's getting on private jets. That's what you know about. That's that social media era. You don't know nothing about what the boxing fans know Floyd for. You don't know nothing about the amateurs. You don't know nothing about the Olympics. You don't know nothing about that version. You know the social media version, the casuals. But let's continue though. Lord bless them. Lord bless them. Oh, let's continue. Let's continue. It says, that's when Pretty Boy Floyd truly transformed himself. When did he transform himself? Mayweather also captured titles at 140, 147, and 154 pounds. His best moment came in 2007 when he defeated Oscar De La Hoya in a split decision win to win the junior middleweight title of the world. That was his highest grossing fight of all time at that time. That's when Pretty Boy Floyd transformed himself into Money Mayweather. Oscar De La Hoya was the transition from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money May. Oscar De La Hoya is a genius. He lost that fight, but I'm saying from a marketing standpoint, Al Haymon is a genius. Richard Scheffer is a genius. Sam Watson is a genius. Sam Watson, sorry about that. Steven Espinosa is a genius. And Leonard Ellaby was the spit bucket guy. True, true, true. When they made that transition, like I said before, that guy. Now let's look at these other guys, though. Let's look at these other guys. And then, who did Floyd Mayweather beat? Let's see who did he beat, though. What's on his resume? Since this for all you guys who, that legacy shit, they ain't gonna pay my bills. That legacy shit overrated. Those guys. The same guys who are selling you that did the total opposite when it came to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather fought Ricky Hatton, Juan Marquez, Sugar Shane Mosley. This is the attraction fight. Conor McGregor. He fought Conor McGregor for his 50th fight. And it was counted as a boxing match. He fought an MMA guy who had a 0-0 record as a pro. They did a world tour press conference to sell the fight. Conor McGregor was calling Floyd Mayweather, boy, dance for me, boy, all of that stuff. But Conor McGregor sold that fight with Floyd Mayweather. They took an attraction from MMA and sold it to the casuals. He's the best ever. He's 50-0. He broke Rocky Marciano's record. He beat Conor McGregor, a guy who never had a boxing match before in his life. Shout out to the Queen Misfit.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He 15-0. Sending out some love. I gotta tighten up on my super chat. Shout out to Misfit, man. And to everybody who gave a super chat, I forgot to do my main man first.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People primping, peering, sharp as razor blades.
He's 50-0 from fighting an MMA fighter. Oh my gosh, he's 50. And he carried Conor McGregor to the 10th round. And you had motherfuckers really believing that Conor McGregor was going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Doesn't that sound familiar? Very similar to how people really believed that Rolly Romero was going to beat Tank Davis. True, true, true. A social media troll that has a background in judo was going to beat Tank Davis. Let's continue. Let's continue. Oh, these guys are brilliant, boy. Let's continue. Roy Jones Jr., Hall of Famer. He had legacy-defining fights. Roy Jones Jr. won the heavyweight title of the world, heavyweight champion. Roy Jones Jr. went through 4 or 5 different weight divisions. Florida's very own. We love Roy Jones in Florida. We love him. Roy was a bad mofo. Fought around the same time Floyd fought. He was that guy. Y'all must have forgot. HBO, Larry Merchant, they hated Roy Jones. They hated Bernard Hopkins. They hated James Lights Out Tony. They hated Floyd Mayweather. They didn't like those guys. They didn't like those guys. This guy's in the Hall of Fame, Roy Jones Jr. Why? Because of who he fought. Who you fight matters. Matters. It matters. In this day and age, it don't matter who you fought. You can be a good shadow boxer and post a video of you shadow boxing on YouTube. That's good enough to make it into the casual boxing Hall of Fame. Oh, my fighter, he number 1 pound for pound. What is your criteria for pound for pound? He knocked out Rolly Romero. Okay. He knocked out Jimmy Kelly. Okay. He knocked out Hog Head Cheese. He knocked out Juan Montiel. Well, he went 12 rounds with Juan Montiel. He finna fight Sulecki. Okay. My fighter got more social media followers than your fighter. My fighter ride around in private jets. Your fighter broke. My fighter made $2 million last year. Okay. That's your criteria for being pound for pound? My fighter more popular than your fighter. My fighter fought J-Rock. Okay. This is where we at, guys. This is where we at. You ain't gonna get into the Hall of Fame like that, but this is what it is. Let's continue. Roy Jones is on that list. Got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Let's continue. B-Hop got inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend. Bad boy right here. This Tito Trinidad got him sitting on his ass. He did that. Trinidad is in the Hall of Fame as well. How many Hall of Famers Bernard Hopkins beat or fought? How many Hall of Famers Floyd beat and fought? Roy Jones. Let's continue. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Andre Ward. No, boy, a lot of them didn't. HBO was mad as hell at Andre Ward. He beat the Crusher from Mother Russia. You know how HBO, they love their Eastern European fighters. ESPN, they love their Eastern European fighters. Oh my gosh, do you see the way Lomachenko, he's like the Matrix in the ring. I've never seen anybody twist and turn like that. Do you see the way how he manipulates the space? Look at the way he just fainted. Look at the way he sat down on a stool in between rounds. He's downloading the information. What? The Crusher from Mother Russia. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Sergey Kovalev. You know, he's a beast. Andre Ward is going to lose to him. And even though I did have Andre Ward losing that first fight to Kovalev, I had him losing by split decision. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie. But he's in the Hall of Fame. Super 6 tournament. Fought the top guys. He didn't fight Stevenson, but Stevenson didn't fight him neither. But he's there. Okay, let's continue. Now, will he be a part of the social media Hall of Fame? No, he won't. Will he be a part of the casual Hall of Fame? No, he won't. He's a part of the Hall of Fame that matters. The International Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm trying to show you how you get there. Who you fight matters. Matters. Now walk it off. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Vladimir Klitschko. He's in the Hall of Fame. He fought everybody in his era. Let's continue. Let's continue. My guy, James Lights Out Tony. Oh, this dude right here, 3-division world champion. 77. This guy had, James Lights Out had 87 fights. 10 losses, 77 wins, 10 losses, 47 KOs. Lights out, baby. You young whippersnappers, you know nothing about this. He got 10 losses. He was garbage. He got 10 losses. My fighter is undefeated. Welcome to the fight game, partner. You keep fighting long enough, and you fight all of the guys in the top 10, you're going to lose some. And if you continue to fight in your old age, you're going to lose more. Welcome to the fight game, partner. That's how this shit works. Let's continue. Juan Manuel Marquez. Him and Manny Pacquiao had some classic battles. Let's continue. Miguel Cotto, Puerto Rican legend. This dude here ain't dumped no smoke from nobody. 41-6. Hall of Famer. Look at his resume, who he fought. You ain't gonna see a bunch of Poke Chop Willies, Hobo Sams, Shawty Big Nuts. You ain't gonna see that on there. Let's continue. Sugar Shane Mosley. He on there too. Fought a little longer than he should have, but it is what it is. A lot of the greats, they always fight past their primes. They just can't let it go. 49-10. Hall of Famer. As Floyd Mayweather would say, I beat him. You know, hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. You know, Sugar Shane Mosley's a hell of a fighter. Hall of Famer. I beat him. Layla Ali and Christine Martin. Yes, the women who laid the foundation. Christine Martin, Orlando's finest. I think she's from Orlando. We love Christine Martin back in the day. Layla, you see Layla. And she can fight too. She can fight. Ann Wolf. You see Ann Wolf? Yeah. Ann Wolf, yeah. They had to fight. Lucia Riker. Yeah, they had to fight. Shout out to the ladies. Let's get the ladies round of applause. Holly Holm. Oh, yes, they didn't duck no smoke back then. With no room for casuals back then. I'm that old school dude holding my 30-30 rifle, holding the line. I'm going to hold the line, dog. I'm not going to push the narrative, dog. I can't do it. I'm not going to push the narratives. I can't do it, dog. I can't do it. Y'all like to talk about Floyd Mayweather, but you don't want to talk about Pretty Boy Floyd. You don't want to talk about the persona that gave birth to Money Made. Who you fight matters. It matters. Let's continue. And then we're going to go to the chat. Let's see. Regina Halmich. She's Hall of Famer. Regina. Had a whole lot of fights, 56 fights. She's here. Lord have mercy. Oh man, is this? I don't think this everybody. There's more on here. Julian Jackson was on here as well. The Hulk. Julian Jackson is on here as well. The Hulk is on here. They don't have all of them on here. The Hulk is on here. I think they're only showing like 10 of them, the top 10. If you look at that Hall of Fame class, they fought everybody. It might be a fighter or two that they didn't get, but you get what I'm saying? So, I say I like to say this. Which fighter that I see today, or who do you guys feel is going to be that fighter that take that blueprint? Because these guys who say the Mayweather blueprint, I know where you got that from. You're listening to these YouTube channels. They don't even tell you what the blueprint is. They don't even tell you the role of Oscar De La Hoya in making Money Mayweather. I know it don't fit the narrative. That's fishnets. Oscar De La Coca. Yeah, I know. Shout out to Edwin.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that. Bam, cash app on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Edwin says, he say, Coach, how Maul injury for trying on Maul's belt? For Coach, how Maul injury for trying on Maul belt? I'm reading it the way you typed it. Thank you, fam. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And I'm not going to sit here and argue with someone who is beneath me from a boxing standpoint. When I say beneath me, I'm not saying from a human being standpoint. I'm saying from an intellectual education standpoint when it comes to the sport of boxing. Your boxing knowledge is beneath me. You don't even understand this shit. When I say you, I'm not talking about my brothers and sisters in the chat. I know you guys know boxing. I'm talking to you, the casual. Richard Scheffer, Al Haymon, Oscar Dela Hoya, Stephen Espinosa, Sam Watkins, the Matchmakers. Y'all some bad motherfuckers. I take my hat off to you guys, and I'm going to give you guys a round of applause. That's what it is. Floyd Mayweather is a Hall of Famer. His resume speaks for itself. You can tell me what you want to tell me about your favorite fighter, but if your favorite fighter ain't fighting King Kong, don't tell me his ass Godzilla. That's why I say what I say. I've only been watching this shit for 40 years. Shout out to Boxing Logic United.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Myron says, he said, drop in gems today. Peace and pugilism. Myron, you know what I'm talking about. Myron knows boxing very well. He's been watching boxing a long time. He understands what I'm saying. The casual think I'm hating.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
When the casual go to trying to argue with me, I just look at him.
Man, who this little young whippersnapper running all up into my combo? Look at you. You're all wet behind your ears. Breath smelling like Similac. Man, you better go home before you get your little thick ass tossed up.
Boxing is not your forte. Pushing YouTube channels' narratives is your forte. Shout out to those YouTube channels who do it. I get the game. Get your money. Those casuals are there to be used and manipulated. They dumb. They don't know nothing. Take advantage of them. That's what they're there for. I don't feel sorry for them at all. So that's how you get to the Hall of Fame. You guys say, I'm following, we following the Floyd Mayweather blueprint. How? How you following the blueprint? Where? You ain't making no money like that. You getting $1 million guaranteed, and we're going to give you the rest of your money on the back end? But you don't know what the pay-per-view numbers are? You don't know what certain mark we got to reach in order to break even to make our money back? So we send it to your favorite YouTube channel, they push the narrative, and you regurgitate what they say, and now you think you're a manager or promoter or whatever the case may be? You can't even manage a McDonald's. You just stepped off the porch yesterday. You still sucking on your mama titty. But now you're an expert? Okay, all right. Shout out to Jaime Rivera.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that $2, bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He say Floyd was a true monster in his prime for real. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At 130 pound, that 130 pound Floyd, reflexes is cat-like reflexes, combinations on point, defense on point, footwork on point. Man, that dude right there, bro, he was too quick.
Out from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
That boy right there, the casuals don't know nothing about that. I'm not here to take a dump on the casuals. All I'm saying is, don't tell me you following the Floyd Mayweather blueprint when you fighting Hobo Sam's, Poke Chop Willies, Shawty Big Nuts. You fighting tomato cans out of tomato cans. Who you fought? Who you fight now? Who he fought? Oh, well, shit, goddamn. Woo! Goddamn, he fought, okay, let's see, he fought Hobo Sam right there. You like Hobo Sam? Who is that? Who? Oh, let's see, goddamn. He fought the Amazon Prime delivery driver. You saw how he knocked him out. Who? He fought, goddamn, goddamn, shit, what's his name? He fought Big Rolo. Big Rolo. We gave him his name, Big Rolo. You do know Coach Malachi Williams came up with that name as a joke, right? You don't even know where Big Rolo come from. If you on the internet right now, call it Camboso's Killer Cam, you don't even know where that came from. If you saying it and thinking that, yeah, that's his nickname, that came from me. I'm the king of the nicknames when it comes to these fighters that are overrated. You don't even know where that came from. I do this shit. I come up with make it sound fly to you. You see what I'm saying? Who you fight matters in the sport of boxing, dog. You have been a part of a WWE production if you believe that Rolly Romero had a snowball chance in hell in beating Tank Davis. This is why at the press conference, the post-fight press conference, Leonard Ellaby was smiling. He like, God damn, I got these dumb motherfuckers. That 18,900 came out. Oh shit, I fooled them. And if the pay-per-view numbers are what Dan Raphael say they is, guess what? Leonard Ellaby was right. It's all about growing the sport with the casuals. In today's boxing, this ain't for the boxing fans. When Leonard Ellaby says, I'm marketing to the casuals, how you grow the sport, he not worried about the niche. I'm not worried about boxing Twitter. Those guys, I ain't worried about them. I'm going after the casuals. Leonard, why you going after the casuals? Because they dumb, they don't know nothing. I can sell them anything. They just jumped off the porch yesterday. And we got certain YouTube channels in pocket that's going to push our narrative. And we know they get their education from the Blues, from the Fanons, from the Egos. We know where they get their education from when it comes to boxing. Shout out to those guys. Much love to those brothers. Well, I wish y'all much success, and I mean that. I didn't get it last year. I didn't get it in 2021. Guess what? I get it in 2022. True. I get it in 2022. I get it. Eric Gutierrez, he say, what's Mugil's nickname? I don't have one for him yet, fam. I don't have one for him yet. I might call Jaime Mugil the tomato can killer. Jaime the tomato can killer Mugil. Kind of like that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write that down. Jaime the tomato can killer. Where my pen at? I like that. I came up with a nickname for Charlo, right? If I did, I forgot. Edgar Berlanga. He said he only had 20 fights. We got to stop hyping these dudes up. It take a whole lot to impress me. I come from the old school. I'm an old Mac from way back when it come to boxing. You're not going to fool people like scrapbook boxing. You're not going to fool people like Bloods boxing. You're not going to fool people like Ring IQ and these other channels who know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you was raised like I was raised, you understand what I'm saying. Floyd Mayweather was the usher of the casuals. Adrian Broner was supposed to be, the torch was passed from Floyd to AB. AB fucked it up. Now they're trying to work their magic again. Canelo is that guy now. Canelo is that guy. Hell, when Canelo fought Floyd and lost to Floyd at 23 years old, that was the... Well, Canelo was already big before he fought Floyd. He already had a name for himself before he fought Floyd, to be honest with you. But after he fought Floyd, pew! Just like after Floyd fought Oscar De La Hoya, pew! And the thing with Canelo, it was so easy for Canelo because Canelo got a built-in audience already. So they didn't really need much marketing for Canelo. The matchmaking was there. The matchmaking is there, of course. But I'm saying just from he didn't have to do a whole lot of trash talking like Floyd. He didn't have to do none of that. All he had to do was just show up in the ring and knock people out. Some fighters, like Canelo, he don't have to do any talking. None of that. He just get in the ring and knock people out. Someone like a Crawford, he has to try to sell himself. He don't sell himself, it's not going to have the appeal. It had appeal with the boxing fans, but the casuals is not going to have the appeal. He still sell out his venue wherever he fight at, but it's not going to have the appeal online from a marketing standpoint. You get what I'm saying? I think Floyd Mayweather, that's what people say, man, Floyd messed it up. Floyd don't milk that cow already. Floyd milked that cow already. He milked that. He did that. DJ Nature, he said, I think the work ethic attracts audience, coach. Whose work ethic, fam? Yeah, if you're saying Canelo, yeah. Canelo's always training and stuff like that. But I'm saying for everybody is different. What I'm saying is I'm trying to show you the magic, how this shit works. How this shit works. The product was money made. Like I said before. And this is why Leonard Ellaby, they're having trouble trying to create another Tank Davis. And you know my motto, what I always say, okay, well, if they got the blueprint, as these YouTube channels would say, the PBC got the blueprint. Yeah? Well, how come that blueprint ain't working with Jamel Charlo? Jamel Charlo is undisputed. Ain't nobody talking about him. The casuals, they don't even like Jamel Charlo. He fought for undisputed. Listen, this man fought for undisputed, and he couldn't even sell out the venue where he was fighting at in Los Angeles. If Al Haymon, Stephen Espinosa, Sam Watkins, Oscar De La Hoya, Richard Scheffer, those guys did all that together. Mauricio Sulaiman, but let's just say the PBC in general, or Mayweather Promotions in general. If it was so easy to do that, you had a blueprint, like you just got a factory. You can just stick a fighter in there, they go in one door and come out the other door, and automatically the blueprint is working. They money Mayweather. Okay, well, how come you can't make another Floyd? This is why Tank Davis is doing so well, because of Floyd. Tank Davis's fans are Floyd Mayweather fans, Money Mayweather fans, to be exact. Tank Davis's fans is Money Mayweather fans. That's what that is. He's the attraction. He brings them out like when Floyd fought Conor McGregor. If you believe that Conor was going to beat Floyd, it worked. If you believe that Rolly Romero was going to beat Tank, it worked. If you believe that Jimmy the Machine Gun Kelly was going to beat Jaime Munguia, it worked. Let me open up the phone lines. He said exactly, clean out a whole division and didn't even make the pound for pound. That's insane. Phone lines is open, 530-494-9636. Let me open up the phone lines. If it's so easy just to sign to a certain promotional company and follow the blueprint, tell me why it ain't working for Jamal Charlo. Why it ain't working for Jamal? To a degree, it's working for Arum. Arum has a nice built-in audience in Texas. He has a nice following out of Texas. They taking a liking to him. Matchmaking matters. And Errol Spence don't really even talk. Floyd Mayweather played the villain role very well. But for me to give all the credit to Floyd, I'll be lying. This is what Floyd means when he says, I like to thank my team. He always say Al Haymon, but it was a whole lot more other guys. You got to give Oscar Dela Hoya his credit. Whether you like him or not, you still got to give Oscar his credit. Richard Scheffer. All of those guys. It was a team effort. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's good, Coach? Malachi is Doc from New York.
Doc from New York, talk to me.
Yeah, man. Coach, what's your thoughts on the modern day era of boxing? You know, these fighters, we got the Tank Davises, the Ryan Garcias, cherry picking, not giving us the fights we want. You got these promoters like Bob Arum. Well, you know, I don't think Shakur should become undisputed. You know, who want to be paying all those sanctioning fees, but he pushing for Lomachenko to become undisputed. So yeah, Coach, what's your overall thoughts on the modern day era sport of boxing and everybody wanting to follow the Floyd Mayweather blueprint?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna give it to you right now. The reason why Bob Arum is saying that he doesn't care about undisputed as it relates to Shakur Stevenson is because the other fighters that he's going to need to fight in order to become undisputed, they are not signed to Top Rank. If you know anything about Bob Arum, he doesn't like doing cross-promotional fights. He likes to do all of his fights. Most of them are going to be in-house, similar to what PBC is doing and the other companies are doing. They're going to be in-house fights. And the reason why he's excited about Lomachenko becoming undisputed, one, because Devin Haney is a top-ranked fighter now. Lomachenko is a top-ranked fighter. And Lomachenko is Bob Arum's favorite fighter. That's his child, so to speak. It's Bob Arum's end goal is to make sure that we have an Eastern European fighter become undisputed. That's what this is. So this is the bias of Bob Arum. He they won. That's they won right there. This is why when you see Lomachenko fight, you'll hear what the dude named Timothy Bradley. Oh my gosh, Dre! Look at the way Lomachenko is downloading the information, Dre. Yeah, man, but he just got hit a couple times. Yes, but he's downloading the information. If you tell Fimo Lopez, you should be careful. This is why. It's because Lomachenko, that's their golden child. So Shakur Stevenson has to fight guys that's not signed to Top Rank, and Bob Lowe care not about undisputed because those fighters are not signed to him. Just like PBC, they don't care about undisputed with their fighters if the fighters are not signed to them. This is why we don't have the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight announced yet. That's my opinion. Jamel Charlo was able to become undisputed because what? All of the fights was on his side of the street. All of the belts was over there. That's the game. That's how this shit works. If you're with our promotional company, we can make that fight in 5 minutes. If you're not with our promotional company, oh man, shit, you got to put butts in seats. And goddamn, he's just not a star. He doesn't, his pay-per-view numbers are not that good. He has to be realistic when it comes to the money. And we don't know what he wants yet. But he's a free agent. He's not with the promoters anymore. He's not on the other side of the street. Yeah, but we don't know what he wants yet, and we don't want to insult a guy with an offer like that. Boy, the language changes when you're not their fighter on their side. The language changes. That's how this shit works. That's what they're telling you, my brother. But to answer your second part of your question, before I let you go, what do I think about these fighters today? Some of these fighters today, they do have a throwback mentality. Devin Haney is one of them. He showed that by going to Australia. Shakur Stevenson is one of them. Two-weight division world champion and unified junior lightweight champion. Chocolatito is another one. Inoue, the monster, is another one. Canelo Alvarez, Alexander Usyk. I like these. Well, the young fighters. I'm not gonna talk about Usyk, but the young fighters. Some of them really want that smoke. They got that old school vein in them. But it's not gonna be that easy. Some of them, and then you have some that they're known for social media. Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia, his commercial endorsements. Tank Davis is an attraction. So, but anyway, that's what I think about that, my brother. Shout out to you, fam, for calling in. Yes, sir. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on? Major Key Boxing, Central Florida.
Major Key, talk to me, fam.
Hey, man, what's going on, Coach? How you been?
I'm doing good, my brother. I'm doing good.
Oh, that's what's up, man. As it pertains to your question, man, which one I've talked about this before, man, as far as the blueprint for Mayweather, man, I think you hit the nail on the head with a lot of the points that you made. I just want to add some. I just want to add some additional ones. Yes, right? Not only was everything else that you said correct, but also keep in mind that Mayweather was at a point where social media just started to kind of take off. He was utilizing that. He had miniseries on HBO and then on Showtime. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it wasn't just like the matchmaking and all of that, the hype behind it, right? And you know, and fighting people at the right time. But it was also, you know, the fact that he was using every single tool that he could utilize to promote. A lot of these people right now, they're not really promoting the way he did. Yeah, he was grinding it out, promoting.
Yeah, yeah. You're right about that. You're talking about when HBO had 24. Was it 24/7?
Yeah,
like yeah.
Exactly.
I mentioned that, and then Showtime have all access. Yeah,
all access.
I mentioned that. I mentioned that.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But it was also the exact timing where social media really started to take off as well. When we were still, you know, paying attention to the cable companies, you know, while watching all the fights through the cable companies, but also social media that just happened to be merging in at the same time, you know, so he was utilizing all of these different platforms, right? And he was working across the street. Yeah, he didn't like Bob Arum, but he was still doing interviews on ESPN. He was still fighting top ranked fighters, you know what I mean? So there was a lot of things that Floyd Mayweather was doing that these guys are not doing.
Yeah, and I would interject once he left Bob Arum, the guy who pretty much promoted all of his fights at that time was Golden Boy. If you look at the fighters he fought, a lot of those fighters were Golden Boy fighters.
Right. You see what I'm saying? When he fought Cotto, for example, and
Robert the Ghost, Cotto, Canelo Alvarez. Yeah.
So he was working with all these other guys. You know what I mean? So I just want to add to that, man, because yeah, man, like you're hitting the nail on the head with all these points, man. You have great live today, man. A lot of information for these casuals. If they didn't know, now they know. They can't say that they didn't know. But hey, with that being said, man, my Raw's coming down next month, man. We all gonna link up, man. Tough Blood Boxing too, man. Or I'll hit him up.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to my brother, man. Major Key Boxing. Man, let me tell y'all, Major Key, before you go. Major Key Boxing, let me tell y'all the story about me and Major Key. Major Key was one of the brothers who reached out to me back when I had like 200-300. I had probably 500 subscribers at the time. Maybe I got to 1,000 in a really short time. And he reached out to me. He opened up his platform to me, and he allowed me to come on his platform and land some of the best interviews that I probably never would have gotten if it wasn't for him. Major Key did that for me. You see what I'm saying? So I got a lot of love for Major Key. He's right here in Florida with me. He did that. And I got
that was all you though, man. That was all you, because I was excited when I was listening to when you started your show. Yes, I was excited. I was like, man, this dude, like, who the hell is this dude? You know. And then I had to invite you on because of the energy. You know, the energy is something different. Yeah. You know, all day long, man. You know, I'm a family man. You know, I know you got grown kids and all that, but you know, I'm a family man. I work and do all this stuff. You know, I'm busy. Yeah. But you know, you grinding it out. But the fact of the matter is that you were talking about some Hall of Famers. Jackson, for example, I believe you were on the panel for that one. Yeah. James Toney was out there, right? That we interviewed. I believe you were on the panel for that. You see what I'm saying? So you know, we had a lot of great interviews, man. But every single time I got a great interview, I send you the link because it's like, I need that energy.
Yeah. Shout out to my brother Major Key, man. Let's get my brother.
So shout out to you, brother.
Yes, sir. Julian the Hulk Jackson, the Hulk. Julian the Hulk Jackson, the Hulk. Yeah, the Major Key is another one. You can't fool with him. Here's another one. Larry Holmes, Jerry Cooney. The marketing that went into it. You know what? AI, you're right about that. I think Cotto was a top-ranked fighter. You're right about that. I think he was a Bob Arum fighter. You're right about that. I think you're right about that. Came at the right time. At the right time. And right now they're trying to find lightning in the bottle right now. I think Mayweather, he has it with Tank. He has it with Tank. I think he has it with Tank. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? This is Adrian from Dallas.
Adrian from Dallas. Talk to me, my brother.
My brother. Here we go. We talking about boxing. We talking about Hall of Famers. We talking about people that, the new upcoming generation that's trying to bring some legacy now. Since we got the middle of the legacy after Floyd left, you had Keith Thurman, the only one trying to unite something. You had Errol Spence trying to come up and do something. I mean, you had Sean Porter that really never united nothing, and then you got all these fighters in between Floyd and Manny Pacquiao era that were right there and they didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? Charlo's, everybody didn't do shit. I mean, now the Charlo at 154, he did something, so I'm happy about that. But I'm glad that the new generation is starting to actually get away from that Floyd aspect of saying you got to be undefeated and all this, be this certain way. I like what Haney did. That's what you got to do. I like what Charlo did. That's what you got to do. Canelo, that's what you got to do. He's the lead example now of what you got to do to be a great one now. So for me, this Hall of Fame induction was great. I think it's one of the greatest Hall of inductions ever. You had Andre Ward, you had Floyd, you had Shane Mosley, you had Marquez. I mean, you had Roy Jones Jr. I mean, that was great.
Lights Out Tony, Julian Jackson. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, everybody. But my era that I grew up in, I'm 40 now. Today's my birthday, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanted to call you. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. I just wanted to call you to let you know that my fighters knew what it took to fight. It was, and this is what I'm talking about, the great ones, right? You had Floyd at number 1. You got Manny Pacquiao at number 2. You got Miguel Cotto at number 3. And you got Juan Manuel Marquez at number 4, all at welterweight. For me, those were the greatest to be compared to these new. You got Keith Thurman, you had Danny Garcia, you had Errol Spence Jr., and you had Sean Porter, Kell Brooks. All my guys, all my legendary guys will beat their asses. I'll be honest with you. At 147 in the prime, they would all beat their asses. Juan Manuel Marquez, maybe he'll have a little bit of competition in there because, that was truly not his weight class.
Right.
But my guys would definitely, Hall of Famers, will beat these guys that we got now. Even Sean Porter. You know that Shane Mosley was actually sparring Sean Porter. I think a couple of fights, they were sparring each other. And I remember there was a video there where Shane Mosley just dropped him like nothing. I mean, all these guys that we have now that we glorify and they're this and that. I mean, even Vernon Forrest would have beat the fuck out of them. Tito Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, they would have all whooped their asses. You know what I mean? Because we're talking about great fighters that people forget. Like we think about Oscar De La Hoya and we're like, they think about pantyhose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You think
Oscar fought everybody, and the reason why those guys beat these guys, in my opinion, these guys they don't fight enough. They're not active enough. They don't.
They don't.
They fight once a year.
They don't.
They don't have to do much. A lot of these fighters today, in my opinion, these modern young fighters, and I'm gonna let you go because we got other callers calling in.
I know.
These fighters are lazy. They don't have to do much. The criteria is different now because you have an influx of casual fans who don't require much. Hell, they don't require much, so they don't have to do a whole lot. You know what I mean? That those guys before them came and did. But go ahead.
And one more thing before I leave, Coach. One more thing before I leave. I'm sorry. And guess what? Even though these guys are my legendary fighters, are the great ones even better than that? With Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, and Tommy Hearns. They would have beat every other guy that I said was legendary in my era. Yeah. That's how great they were. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, these new guys ain't shit, Coach. Ennis and all that, I can see something happening, but nah. You can't compare our guys to these new guys. They ain't worth it anymore, man. Yeah, man. All right, thank you so much, Coach. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, shout out to Adrian, man. Shout out to you, fan calling in from Texas, man. Dallas, Texas. Shout out to Ponce de Leon.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter over. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, let's not forget what Floyd went to the WWE. I forgot all about that, Ponce de Leon. You're right about that. WWE, Dancing with the Stars, TV shows, promoting himself. You hit the nail right on the head, fam. You went so when these guys go to saying that we following the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, how you following the Floyd Mayweather blueprint if you're gonna skip Pretty Boy Floyd? How you following the Floyd Mayweather blueprint? Man, I don't like talking to the media. How you gonna follow the Floyd Mayweather blueprint? Floyd Mayweather did go to WWE to get that exposure over there, to attract those casuals to boxing. Get on Dancing with the Stars. Listen, Floyd Mayweather used every media platform in order to get him the exposure that he deserved. that he deserved. You didn't see Floyd out drinking nowhere. You didn't see Floyd in the clubs. None of that stuff. Dancing with other men, kissing them. You ain't see none of that with Floyd. He knew how to promote himself, market himself. He had a good team for real. Al Haymon, Richard Scheffer, Oscar De La Hoya, Steven Espinosa, Mauricio Sulaiman, Bob Arum. Can't forget about Bob. That pretty boy Floyd era. Sam Watkins. Tom Brown. Tom Brown was around as well. Yeah, that's how. Yeah, that's how that was.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Thomas Davis says, can't compare saying who beats who. That's a dumb statement in my opinion. Not really. It's again, you said in your opinion. It's just a matter of opinion. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of opinion. You know, so the old school guys will feel like, hey man, we feel that our fighters, in the old school would beat some of these young guys, and some of these young guys, fans like yourself, may sit back and say, oh man, my fighter beat this dude. He don't need to fight him. You know what I mean? It's all based on opinion. You get what I'm saying? So it's all based on opinion all the time. To be honest with you, my brother. It's all opinion. It's all opinion. Because the fact of the matter is, my brother, is this. You don't know who will beat who until they get in the ring and fight each other. Especially, I'm talking about as it relates to today. You don't know who will beat who unless they get in the ring and fight each other. If these guys don't get in the ring and fight each other, you don't know. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm always gonna be biased towards my old school fighters. And I'm telling you off the ripper. I'm always going to be biased when it comes to comparing Marvelous Hagler to these modern day middleweights that's boxing today. Always. I have a right to do that. You want to know why? Because the track record. But I'm not trying to convince a casual of anything. I'm not trying to convince him. I'm just trying to educate him. That's all. Do with it what you will. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, Coach? It's Gamo from LA, West Coast.
Gamo, West Coast. Yeah. Talk to me, fam.
Hey, yo, I was pulling for Kambosos, but I give Devin all the credit and respect for pulling it off. I hope Bob makes the Lomachenko fight so Devin could get the real pound for pound respect by beating a Lomachenko, a fighter that can get around his jab. I believe that Lomachenko, he would have stopped Kambosos in 8 or 10. I believe he can get around Devin Haney's jab, and work his angles, but that's a different story. Back to the topic of Floyd, I got to give the golden boy from East LA all his credit. Oscar De La Hoya, what I mean? People bring up the fishnets and the coke, but hey, the golden boy really put Floyd and my fighter Manny if they didn't fight Oscar, Oscar gave them the torch. And, the fighters of the last generation, Oscar, Floyd, and Manny, they all fought each other. Oscar, Floyd, and Manny, they literally all fought each other. Mm-hmm. Floyd fought Oscar, Manny fought, they all fought each other, literally.
Cotto.
And, yeah.
No, I'm saying Sugar Shane Mosley.
I don't think Sugar Shane fought them all, but Floyd fought Oscar and Pac. Pac fought Oscar and Floyd. Oscar fought Floyd and Pac. They all literally fought each other. Great fights. I hope they do announce Bud Crawford versus Easy Root Spence. I got my main man, the Omaha Assassin, stopping Spence. Whole lot of aerosexuals, talking spicy lately, but I do hope they announce that fight. It will be an undisputed year for boxing. I'm looking forward to Devin's next fight. I do hope it is Lomachenko. Lomachenko's going to come back and make a statement. I do believe he has a great chance to beat Devin, get around that stiff jab with that southpaw style, work some angles, and possibly, frustrate Devin. Kambosos wasn't doing a whole lot of too much. That's why Devin still hasn't got the respect of the hardcores like that, because Kambosos wasn't the best in the division. Lomachenko is still lurking around there, even though with 2 losses, he's fought the elite competition. He still has a lot in the tank to give, and I do hope they make that fight this year. I got my main Bud Crawford beating Spence.
Hey, shout out to Gamo.
Undisputed at 140. Yeah. Come on, Bud Crawford's knockout percentage at welterweight is 100%.
I got other calls calling in on Gamo. But shout out to Gamo, man. Shout out to you, my brother.
Team Pacquiao opened his bitch. Hey.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Gamo. Calling from LA, man. Shout out to Gamo calling from LA, man. He with Team Pacquiao. He with Team Manny Pacquiao. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, Coach? Is Rob from New York.
Rob from New York. Talk to me.
What's going on, brother? So just just going over your topic, saying that you asked whether the Floyd Mayweather persona is overrated. Once again, I'll be fully transparent. I fucking hated Floyd. Sorry for the curse. Back when he was fighting, I think that he played a lot of politics. But to his credit, he played the game beautifully. He actually revolutionized boxing when you come to playing the politics as well as in the ring and dominating fighters. I think that this might have been heavily impacted by him going to WWE. I'm not quite sure if you remember, and just understanding the business aspects from inside and outside and how to promote himself. And you're seeing it now with a lot of these TikTok fighters. They're actually getting a lot know
what you say,
fighters
TikTok? You
know
say
how to
TikTok
promote
fighters?
themselves.
You say TikTok fighters?
Like fighters need to promote themselves. You can't let promotional companies make money for you. That game is over. I mean, you need fighters to have a personality in order to make money. It's a new era, but just wanted to say I gotta tip my hat to Floyd, even though I hated him back in the day. The guy actually changed the sport. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Bob from New York, man. I mean, Rob from New York. Shout out to Rob from New York. Shout out to you, fam. Yeah, I just want to like break this shit down. Like I had to look at it. I say, damn, Floyd, pretty boy Floyd, Money Mayweather. He ushered in that era. He came in at the right time and he saw it. He caught lightning in a bottle, and he, like the brother said, he went to the WWE. You see what I'm saying? He was on Dancing with the Stars. So when you hear these YouTube channels talking about, yeah, what they're doing with Tank Davis, they doing the Mayweather blueprint. No, they're not. They're not doing the Mayweather blueprint. Anyone who's ever said that, you don't know the Mayweather blueprint. How can you say that? Look at Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather's career and say that that's what they're doing with Tank. That's not the Floyd Mayweather blueprint or the green print. This is a new era, a new thing that, you know, like Leonard said. Remember, as I said before, guys, like all of these Hall of Famers I just named, they fought everybody. And today, in today's boxing, you ain't got to fight no goddamn body. That's all you got to be good at doing in order to become a pound for pound list.
I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also, yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Probably fuck.
You can do that? He pound for pound. How he pound for pound? Did you see what he did on TikTok? He did this on TikTok. You see what he did? You see what he did? Your fighter can't do that. What? My fighter got a commercial endorsement with Maybelline. My fighter, did you see the way my fighter put on that eyeshadow? Your fighter can't do that. What?
Come fuck with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm a knockout artist, baby.
I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. You one of them old niggas, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know nothing about boxing. What? Do you know what a check left hook is? What is the purpose of a check left hook? What? Oh, what check left hook? You know, I don't know nothing about no check left hook, but I know about Instagram. What? I know my fighter did 400,000 pay-per-view buys. Where you got that from? That's what Blue said. What? I know my fighter. Shit, listen. I know that contract between Crawford and Spence, that contract been signed 2-3 months ago. What? Where you heard that from? Oh, I heard that from Fanon. Oh, okay. Boxer ain't gonna say it such and such. Did you do any research on your own, sir? Did you do any research on your own? I don't need to do no research. You don't know nothing about boxing. What? Bro, I'm not finna sit here and argue with a casual. What I look like? Like my brother Ply say, oh, you wanna argue? I can't argue with you. For what?
Man, who this little young whippersnapper running all up into my combo? Look at you. You're all wet behind your ears. Breath smelling like Similac. Man, you better go on home before you get your little thick ass tossed up.
Footwork and a jab is overrated in the sport of boxing. What? This who you want me to argue with online? No, I can't do it, dog. I can't do it. Again, I'm that old dude where I got my 30-30 rifle and I'm a hold the line, dog. I'm a hold the line. Matter of fact, I'm a hold the line, dog. That old dude with his 30-30. And I'm a hunting. I'm hunting for wabbits. I gotta call it like it is. Nobody today is doing Floyd Mayweather's blueprint. There's no fighter today, boxing, is doing Floyd Mayweather's blueprint. None. You have 2 fighters, 3 fighters right now. It was 2. Anthony Joshua and he's huge over there in the UK. Getting crazy money. $120 million site fees for him to fight with Saudi Arabia. I mean, like just getting net worth over 100 million pounds, just getting crazy money. Canelo Alvarez getting crazy money. The face of boxing over here. Whether you like him or not, it is what it is. Tyson Fury just sold out a football stadium. I don't know what it grossed, but he sold out a football stadium. Tank Davis sold out the Barclays Center with a social media personality, a social media troll, and a guy who can't box one lick. Don't know what it, and when he throw a jab, he throw it like this. He throw it like this. Don't know how to throw a straight jab. Don't know how to throw a straight jab, put his feet into it. When he punches, he's staying very wide leg. Leave his chin out there like this. That guy. Don't take much now. And then you got the fighters who do have the real skills. They have the personality of a cardboard. So, you know, they'll never get what they're supposed to get with the casuals, because the casuals wouldn't know a good boxer if a good boxer slapped them in the face. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Frank from the Bay. What's up, Coach?
Frank from the Bay, talk to me.
What we talking about? We talking about the Floyd blueprint?
Did you have you been listening to the show?
Yeah, man. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure, because before I try to answer it, I want to see what you heard, stuff like that, so I can answer correctly. Yeah, but
I love the topic. No, I've been following for a minute, and I know we had a disagreement, but I really think you're a real one, so that's why I'm calling in. Yes. I just want to. My opinion is on the Floyd blueprint. You know, Floyd comes from the pedigree. You know, his family was in boxing, and the old blueprint was the Olympics. That was the gold standard. Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, and then it was Andre Ward. But Andre Ward didn't really carry the mantle. You know, for whatever reason, I guess he just wasn't interested. Mm-hmm. And so I think, you know, now the mantle is the gold standard is social media following. Yeah. And I think the promoters, they're not really worried about the medal anymore. The last fighter I seen that was supposed to be it was Errol Spence. And then he had those incidences. And I don't think he was really that interested in becoming a billionaire or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just had to give the history, Frank, on this so-called blueprint. There's no one really following that blueprint, because in order to follow the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, you can't skip Pretty Boy Floyd, right? And a lot of these guys who are fans of Floyd Mayweather, they know nothing about Pretty Boy Floyd. They know nothing about the role that Oscar De La Hoya played in Floyd becoming Money May. They know nothing about Richard Scheffer. They know nothing about Tom Brown. They know nothing about Sam Watkins. They know nothing about Al. They know about Al, but they just think it was just Al. They don't know. They don't know. You see what I'm saying? They don't know about WWE. They don't know about this Dancing with the Stars. They don't understand what happened and how Floyd was the window, the tool that was used in order to bring in the casuals. The HBO miniseries they used to come with in order to the 24.
Yeah, the 24/7.
24/7.
Yeah, the 24/7.
Yeah, stuff like that. So all of the production that went into that, they know nothing about that, and I don't see none of no fighters following that blueprint.
Yeah, well, the only thing I kind of disagree with you on, and I hope you allow me to disagree, is I'm not trying to be a troll or hate, is just as far as the casual, because I got kids, and I'm going to try to get them into boxing, but I had to follow what they're into, and they're going to be into Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, because one of my loves was always, I don't want to sound like, no, I don't want to get, anyway,
go ahead, speak your mind. Go ahead and talk.
I don't want to sound no homo. I guess that was a saying, no homo. I'm not homophobic. I'm just follow. You see a fighter like Earl Spence. I seen him from ground one. That's what I'm talking about. The blueprint. A Gold Fighter was put on HBO. I think Andre Ward's first fight was on HBO, main event. And that was like, wow, that dude is something special. And you want to follow his career. And I just don't think people have the attention span anymore. So. I mean, I hear what you're saying about the casual. I just don't want to sound like an old head when my parents told me, oh, our generation was better, I think we have to find a way to bridge the gap.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking the casuals. What I'm saying is I understand the casuals. What I'm trying to do is let the old heads know, or the people who understand boxing, know boxing. And I want to show, hey, listen, this is the casuals mentality.
Exactly. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
My brother, like, this is their mentality.
Okay, yeah.
And this is what's being sold by Leonard Ellaby. This is why someone like a Tank can fight a Roland Romero and sell out, according to what they're saying, the Barclays Center. This is a new era.
Well,
and Floyd Mayweather was the bridge to bring that in, is all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, just one last point, Coach, because what you just said, like, you got to be kind of a teacher, and then that's where I think you need to open up the discussions and argue with people, because we have a lot of hype machines. Like, I'm going to say the names, like you said, Boxing Biz, Bannon. I mean, these guys are shills. Let's keep it real. The last truth teller that I remember was Manny Stewart. I mean, he's not a Tim Bradley. I seen this last fight, and I mean, Haney did okay, but he wasn't throwing combos, anyway, but Tim Bradley was making it seem like he was just world beating. But the last person I seen tell the truth was Manny Stewart. I don't ever remember him shilling. But the last where I used to get my information was Max Boxing and Ring Talk. I don't know if you remember Pedro Fernandez.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble for truth telling. But this is where we're at, man. Is the shills and the truth tellers.
Yeah, man. Hey, my brother,
it's all opinion, but
Frank from the Bay, man. Shout out to you, fam, man. I appreciate you calling in, fam. I thank you for giving me your input. Okay, salute to you, my brother.
Yeah, man. Keep it real, man.
Shout out to the Bay. Shout out to the Bay, man. Shout out to the Bay, and that's what it is. I get it. I'm not, talking down on the casuals and stuff like that. I just want to show you guys this is what happened. At the end of the day, and I want to leave you with this. There's no fighter that I see fighting the floor Mayweather blueprint, because it's going to be hard to try to redo that, replicate what he did. Because when Floyd Mayweather became Money May, he fought the top guy, the Oscar De La Hoya. He had an Oscar De La Hoya there in order to take him to that. And then he partnered up with Oscar De La Hoya. So I gotta let you know that it wasn't as simple as I'm Floyd Mayweather, I'm Money May, I write my own checks, I pick all of my fighters, I do what I want to do, everybody works for me, everybody has to bow down for me, I'm the smartest guy in the room. No. It sound good though. For a casual, for a casual, oh man, Floyd did what he wanted to do. He wrote his own checks. This and that, yada yada yada. And no, it sound good. It sound good. I know where you got that from though. You got that from Blue. You got that from Fanon. You got that from Boxing Eagle. I know who you got that from. I know who you got that from RKTV. I know who you got it from. It's not true though. But hey, I say all that to say this. There's no one following the Floyd Mayweather's blueprint. If you don't know nothing about Pretty Boy Floyd, don't tell me you following Floyd Mayweather's blueprint. You don't even know what the blueprint is. If you don't know what role Oscar De La Hoya played in it, you don't know what the blueprint is. If you don't know what role Richard Scheffer and Steven Espinosa and Sam Watkins and Mauricio Sulaiman and Jose Sulaiman and all those other guys played in it, if all you know is Al Haymon, you don't know what the blueprint is. Dancing with the Stars took advantage of the mainstream media as well as social media. WWE, who doing that? Who's doing that? What fighter's doing that right now? Name them. Maybe Tyson Fury. He did something with WWE. Tyson Fury did something with WWE. And I think when Floyd did it was WWF at the time, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Ain't none of them doing it. And the casuals are more into social media. They're more into popularity. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. You know? And a lot of these fighters, they have the personality of a cardboard. I love Terrence Crawford, but he has the personality of a cardboard. He'll never be a crossover star with the casuals, never. He'll always be loved by the diehard boxing fans, but the casuals, they'll never accept him. He doesn't have a cult-like following like that. They'll appreciate him after he retires. Someone like that. Man, that was a bad motherfucker, his skill set. You see what I'm saying? So this shit, that pound for pound list, that shit is all about popularity. They don't even use the criteria that someone like an ESPN may use in order to come up with a pound for pound list. It's not even the criteria that was used when pound for pound was first created and originated. I'm just calling it the way I see it. So I don't listen to mainstream media. Mainstream media is all about hype and hyperbole and creating the illusion. So I'm going to hold the line. I'm going to hold the line. I'm going to hold the line, man. I'm going to hold the line. That's what I'm going to do. They can say what they want to say, man. They can say what they want to say. These fighters today, they don't even fight enough. My fighter bigger, stronger than them old school fighters. Yeah, but he's fighting once a year. One, he's fighting once a year. And two, he ain't fighting no goddamn body. So he look good fighting Hobo Sam. My fighter passed the eye test. Did you see what he did? Did you see what he did to Emmanuel Tago? He passed the eye test. He passed the eye test based on fighting whom, sir? Who you fight matters. It don't matter who you fight. My fighter undefeated. Yeah, but who he fought? Oh, you one of them old hate that niggas. You don't know what you're talking about. Woo. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir, you're right. I want to argue and debate with you. I want to argue. Yeah. I tell you what, you can argue by yourself. I am done. Coach Malachi Williams, it's done. We rebranding the show. Boxing with Coach Malachi Williams. I'm rebranding this show from New Media Today USA Boxing to Boxing with Coach Malachi Williams. It's being rebranded. So you will receive a notification when I do change the name officially. As you can see the logo right here in the upper right hand corner, you'll see that's the new logo. Kind of like that better. Yeah, man. So this is what it is. This is the blueprint that Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather, followed. The people who I just named were all a part of it. The marketing and advertising that went into building that brand, Mayweather, Money May, like I said before, TBE, the best ever. Floyd was the best fighter that ever put on a pair of gloves in the history of boxing. Yeah. Okay. Facts. He fought more world champions than any fighter in the history of boxing. Let me ask you a question, sir. What? How many world champions in each weight division that Roberto Duran had to fight when he had the belts? When Muhammad Ali was boxing, sir, how many world champions in the same weight division were there? He got more champions than Sugar Ray Robinson. Sir, when Sugar Ray Robinson was boxing, how many belts did they have at that time, sir? When Floyd was boxing, how many belts that they had at that time, sir? What that got to do with it? I'm done. We got one more call. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Chloe? Derek from Florida.
Derek from Florida. Talk to me.
I think he should, of course, fight next, though. Of course, do you think he should fight next at 130?
I don't know. If he can fight the other champions in the weight division, I think he should fight those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But if those fighters are not signed to the top rank, which I don't think they are, he won't have to worry about getting those fights. So I really don't know. I'm gonna have to look at it.
What about the guy who beat Chris Colbert? Can you fight him? I forgot his name.
The guy
who beat Chris Colbert?
Are you talking about beat Chris Colbert? Are you talking about Hector Garcia? Big Heck.
Yeah.
You know,
Hector Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think he could fight him. Because if you're the champion, you got to defend your titles. So
yeah,
that's how it's supposed
to be.
All right. Shout out to Derek,
man.
All right,
Coach.
Shout out to Derek calling from Florida. Yeah, man. They sit back and it is what it is. I gotta call it like it is, man. You know, I can push the narrative. I can, man, but I'm just not gonna do it.
You're begging me not to leave you, and I refuse to let you go.
Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Let's go ahead and do this OJ Ju-Man style. Let me go ahead and give everybody a shout out that's in the chat. You know how we do it. Shout out to Misfit. Shout out to Bless 365. Shout out to the boxing scientist. Salute, fam. Shout out to Birch Law. What's happening? Shout out to ABE. What's going on? Shout out to the breakdown with Kush. What the lick read? Shout out to Toon, who was here early as well. Shout out to my brother Magic Key Boxing. Shout out to Adrian from Dallas. Shout out to Gamo from LA. Shout out to Rob from New York. Shout out to Frank from the Bay, and shout out to Derek from Florida. Shout out to Abe. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Stuart Dawes. Shout out to my brother Reggie Owens, Reggie Owens, who was in the chat. Shout out to Retro Boxing and Documentaries. Shout out to Halim. Shout out to Stuart Dawes. Shout out to JT. Shout out to Soberanis. Shout out to TDC. Shout out to Kene, what's going on, fam? Shout out to T Culture. Shout out to Cool Boy Curry. Shout out to Jaime Rivera. What's going on, my brother? Shout out to Thomas Davis. Shout out to Stuart Dawes. Shout out to James. Shout out to who else we have in the building? Shout out to I'm trying to make sure I get everybody. I think I got everybody so far. Shout out to Slim's Boxing. What's going on, fam? Shout out to who else we have in the building? Shout out to Knockdown 305, my brother from Dade County. Shout out to Donnie T. Shout out to Easy E. R.I.P. Easy E. Shout out to Lisa Bales. I think she was here as well. Shout out to Knockdown 305. I think I got everybody, man. Shout out to Big Hector Garcia. Shout out to Jeff Lucietta. I think he was here as well. Shout out to Sawab's Boxing, Big Hulk from Maryland. Shout out to Arnold Moketsi, T Culture, Schoolo X-Mon, Edwin, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Edwin. Shout out to Massachusetts Fishing. Shout out to Cyrus. It is what it is, man. Thomas Davis, what's going on, fam? Cool Buck Curry. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. Once again, this is Coach Malachi Williams signing out. New Minute Today USA Boxing. You know how we do it. And look here, man, let's do it like this here, man. We ain't hit this in a minute. Hey, man, we're going to do a pop-up. We're going to go live again in probably another hour or so. See you guys then. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on.